It will be the responsibility of the student to view, understand, and retain proof of viewing the following orientation video in its entirety. This orientation is designed to give the inquiring student basic information about the surgical technology program. The student will be responsible for all information provided in the video and will be asked to provide signed documentation acknowledging such at a later time. Remember, it is your responsibility to know the deadlines and criteria for the Surg Tech program. Please be sure to monitor this website weekly for updates and changes. Welcome to the Ames Community College Surgical Technology Online Orientation. This orientation will outline the requirements you must meet to be placed on the surgical technology waitlist and provide specifics about the program at Ames. This presentation includes authorization code embedded, so it's important that you pay attention. Having this authorization code is the only way to verify you participated in the entire orientation, so please write it down when instructed to do so. This is a 2-year Associate of Applied Science degree, meaning it is a terminal degree. An AAS degree is typically not designed to transfer to a 4-year university. While some of your general education courses may transfer, the surgical technology courses typically will not. If your goal is to earn a 4-year degree, please check with the accepting institution first to make sure that they will accept these specific courses. When you transfer credits to another school, it is always up to the accepting institution whether or not they will accept courses from another institution. The Surgical Technology program at Ames is accredited by CAHEP. This accreditation is the benchmark for surgical technology programs and makes you eligible to sit for the National Certification Exam known as the CST exam upon your successful completion of the program. There are several reasons for the surgical technology waitlist, but some include the following. First, we run a very streamlined and individualized program, admitting only 12 students per year. Second, the program only begins once a year, each fall semester. And third, accreditation and clinical requirements also limit the number of students we can accept into the program. This results in an average waiting time of 1 to 3 years. However, during this time, you may be completing your general education and prerequisite coursework for the program. We will describe the 4 steps you will need to take in order to be placed on the waitlist. You are completing step number 1 right now. After viewing the online orientation, please print the certificate of completion with your name, today's date, and the authorization code provided. Step number 2. If you've not already done so, you will need to submit a completed application to the Ames Admissions Department. If you've not attended Ames previously, or have not taken classes from Ames within the last year, you will need to apply or reapply. You can do this in person by visiting one of the 3 main campuses or online by visiting www.ames.edu. After having applied to Ames, you will also be asked to view the online new student orientation found within your My Ames student account. The online new student orientation will help you get started on a successful college experience. It will introduce you to some of the services and resources designed to help you achieve your educational goals. The new student orientation is only required if you are new to Ames. Additionally, we recommend that you make an appointment with the financial aid department. Finally, you will need to declare your major as pre-surgical technology, because this program is considered to have selective admission. If you're completing the application to Ames or the change of information form through admissions, select Pre-Surgical Tech as your major. If you've already applied to Ames but are not currently declared as Pre-Surgical Technology, you should change your major online through your My Ames account under the Student tab. On the right-hand side, you should see a box titled Advising. In that box, click Change My Major. When you reach the department field, select from the drop-down menus to select Allied Health. Then, when the major box appears, select Pre-Surgical Technology. If you are unable to log into your My Ames account, please contact the Help Desk at helpdesk@ames.edu or call them at 970-339-63 during regular business hours. In order to be placed on the waitlist, you will need to meet the Colorado State assessment requirements. There are 3 ways that you can demonstrate that you have met the requirements. First, if you already have a college degree, such as an Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Bachelor's or higher, and it's from a regionally accredited school. Second, if you've already taken college-level English and math and passed with a C or better in the last 10 years. Or third, if you've met the minimum assessment scores on the AccuPlacer, ACT, SAT, or COMPASS test. The college does provide AccuPlacer testing. To make an appointment for a test, or to get a list of the minimum scores required, call the testing center at 970-339-6533. In order to be placed on the list, you must provide documentation that you have met the assessment requirements in one of these 3 ways. Please provide transcripts of official test scores to the Surgical Technology Program Coordinator. If you do not meet the minimum assessment requirements, AIMS offers remedial courses to help you prepare for college-level English and math. While you're on the waitlist, you can enroll in your general education and prerequisite courses. However, you cannot be placed on the waitlist if you still need to complete remedial coursework. The general education courses that are required for the Surg Tech program are English 121, Psychology 235, Math 107, HPR 178, which must be a 3-credit course, Bio 201, Bio 202, and Bio 204. We encourage students to make an allied health appointment by calling 970-339-6251. Together, you and your advisors will create an individualized plan for completing the general education courses in a timely fashion. If you need assistance registering for classes, the Allied Health Advisor can help you with that as well. While on the waitlist, students may be completing any outstanding general education course requirements. All courses must be completed with a grade of C or better. All of the listed science courses must have a lab component. Depending on your skill level in math, reading, English, and prior coursework in science, there may be additional prerequisites you must complete prior to enrolling in the science courses. If you're taking surgical technology general education courses at institutions other than Ames Community College, it is your responsibility to verify with the Ames Transcript Evaluator regarding the transferability of these courses to Ames. Courses completed elsewhere must be officially transferred to Ames for credit. It is highly recommended that you transfer credits at the end of each semester. Remember, transfer policies apply, and the state allows 30 business days for the college to evaluate your transcripts. Please call 970-339-6494 for more information about transferring credits. Step 4. Getting on the waitlist. For the final step of placing yourself on the waitlist, download and sign the following forms: Online Orientation Certificate of Completion with Authorization Code, Assessment Scores, if not from Ames Community College, Surgical Technology Waitlist and Acceptance Procedures, List of Disqualifying Offenses Form, the Background Investigation Acknowledgement Form, and the Surg Tech Checklist. You will also need to have your unofficial transcripts and 2 forms of government-issued identification, such as an unexpired passport, Social Security card, driver's license, and birth certificate. You want to have these forms all ready before you set up an appointment to meet with Erin Miyoshi, Program Coordinator. These forms are found on the Surgical Technology webpage. When you are ready, please email erin.miyoshi@ames.edu to make an appointment. Erin is located in the Allied Health Building on the Greeley campus in room 203. Once you are placed on the waitlist, in order to maintain your placement, you will receive an email from the Surgical Technology Department in November of each year, asking if you still wish to remain on the list. You must respond from your AIMS email account to the surgical technology email within the allotted month. Email responses received after the deadline will not be accepted. Please know that phone calls, drop-ins, and email responses that are not from your AIMS email account are not acceptable verification responses, and therefore could result in your removal from the surgical technology waitlist. If you're removed from the surgical technology waitlist, you must begin the process again by viewing the online orientation with the authorization code, at which time you will be placed back on the bottom of the waitlist. It is imperative and in your best interest to ensure that admissions and records is current and up to date with your contact information, such as your mailing address, phone numbers, etc. Additionally, it is your responsibility to check your AIMS email account on a weekly basis for modifications to the program. You are responsible for making any necessary adjustments accordingly. Failure to do so will not be a defense to missed program changes or deadlines. At the time of provisional program admission, students are required to successfully satisfy the following clinical requirements. Students must hold a current American Heart Association or Red Cross BLS healthcare provider CPR card. Students must also pass a background check and drug screen, which is currently priced at $81.50. The Surgical Technology Department will provide students directions on how to order and complete their background checks and drug screen at the appropriate time. Clinical sites may also require an additional background check and/or drug screening. Students must pass their background check and drug screening without any disqualifiers in order to begin the program. Students will also be required to pay a separate fee, which is currently $36.50, for a My Clinical Exchange account. This database permits programs to enter student information into a single clinical data source. This allows for easier tracking of the listed health requirements, such as the following immunizations: chickenpox, measles, mumps, and rubella, hepatitis B, Tdap, tuberculosis skin tests, and the flu shot. As a heads up, some of the health requirements are given over a period of time, so as students get closer to completing their general education coursework, it is highly recommended that students consult with their healthcare provider regarding the health requirements. Clinical requirements may be subject to change without notice. Surgical technology students are selected and provisionally admitted pending final documentation review according to the date and time of their placement on the waitlist. Provisional admission is given if, and only if, a student successfully satisfies all requirements for admission to the program. Additionally, students must be at least 18 years of age prior to entering the program. The Surgical Technology Department will attempt to notify selected students from the waitlist at least 6 weeks prior to the start of the program. At the end of each spring semester, the Surgical Technology waitlist is reviewed and students are selected according to their date and time on the waitlist, in conjunction with documented successful completion of all prerequisite and required surgical technology general education coursework. Therefore, it is in your best interest to successfully complete any and all remaining requirements by the end of a spring semester in order to be possibly considered for the upcoming fall program start. Please email a copy of your updated degree works to Erin Miyoshi after each semester that you take any Surg Tech prerequisite coursework. Note, this is a change from previous years. Grades will no longer be looked up. Students are now responsible for providing updated coursework grades to Erin. If this step is missed, you may be overlooked as a potential candidate for the Surg Tech program. It is the student's responsibility to provide copies of all required documentation by the due date provided when you receive notice that you have been provisionally accepted. Final acceptance will be postponed until all requirements have been successfully met. Once you are formally admitted The surgical technology program is only 2 semesters, fall and spring. During these 2 semesters, the surgical technology program requires a full-time commitment. Classes and labs are generally held Tuesday through Friday from approximately 8:10 a.m. until 2:45 p.m. At the end of October, the program schedule will change to include a half-day Saturday session. Students should plan on spending 1 half day in the operating room from the end of October until winter break, which is approximately 5 weeks. The clinical schedule in the spring semester may vary, but generally it is Tuesday through Friday from 6:45 a.m. until 3:15 p.m., with the possibility of weekends. Clinical sites and schedules are determined according to facility availability. Students should expect to have classes on Mondays from 8 a.m. till noon. Clinical rotations are not scheduled around a student's personal or work schedule. The last 3 weeks of the spring program are reserved for capstone review in preparation for the CST certification exam. Classes during this time are held Monday through Wednesday from 8 a.m. until noon. Fittingly, Ames has enjoyed pass rates for the CST exam among the top 10% of all surgical technology programs. Ames has been recognized nationally for the last several years. As part of the surgical technology program, you will be required to successfully complete clinical rotations. Current clinical sites range from Denver to Cheyenne, Wyoming, and from Fort Morgan to Estes Park, so having reliable transportation is important. Additionally, it is important to budget for changes in gas prices, as well as wear and tear on your vehicle. There are additional costs that are not included in your tuition and fees. Please note that if you fail or withdraw from an STE prefixed course, readmission to the surgical technology program is not guaranteed and requires prior approval from the surgical technology department. It may also require a new background check and drug screen. If you withdraw or fail a second time from any other program courses, you will be withdrawn from the program without option for re-entry. Mark Urso, the program director, will be your faculty advisor. He will remain your advisor until you graduate from the surgical technology program. If you have specific content questions, please email Mark directly. Erin Miyoshi is the program coordinator and should be utilized for questions regarding entrance into the program and clinical requirements. To find out more about tuition and fees, financial aid, or disability access, we have provided the following links for your information. Now, please find the orientation certificate on the Surg Tech webpage. You will be asked to enter your name, your Ames student number, this authorization code, and today's date onto the certificate of completion. Please print this certificate as it is part of your required paperwork for getting placed on the wait list. Having the certificate with the correct authorization code is mandatory and is the only way to confirm you completed this online orientation. This now concludes the required orientation for the Surg Tech program. We'd like to thank you for your time and attention.